stand up. And he stood, and everybody was amazed because that man was healed. And here in Jaffa there was a lady by the name is Tavifa. And the lady was making the cloth. For example, today when we say making the cloth, it doesn't ringing in our head. But back then, in order to make a little cloth, you have to make, how you call it?
Thread.
Yes. And from that you put in the machine and making the cloth, and then you will be making some t-shirt, a shirt, or something. You know, it's very hard work because or you making out of linen or making out of the cotton, but it's a lot of work, right? So that lady passed away, and everybody was so sorry because she was the woman who was dressing up everybody for free. And they were crying, and then they heard about Peter that was in Lydia. They sent to call him. He came, and when he entered the house, it's not this house. It's different house in this area. And he knelt before the bed and he said, Tavifa kumi, which means Tavifa, stand up. And she rose from the dead. And everybody in Jaffa was so joyful because that miracle happened. And it says in the Bible, chapter 10, that Peter was hosted by the Simon the Lada, that the tenor. Yeah, Peter the tenor was hosting Apostle Peter, and in that house, this is the house. How we do know that this is the authentic house? Because in this house there is a well, right? And in order to work with leather, you have to have lots of water. And this is the only place where they have a water. Okay? So Peter was standing on the flat roof, as you see the flat roof.
Yeah.
And people were preparing food for him. And while he was waiting for food, he started praying. And all of a sudden, he see a vision that some cloth are coming from the heaven, cutting on the four corners was hanging, and in that cloth, lots of unkosher animals. Unkosher, it means not clean. All kind of snakes, leathers, and others. And the voice was from heaven, Peter, take it and eat it. And he said, God forbid, I never ate something not kosher. And that voice was 3 times. And that cloth went back to the heaven. And while he was thinking about what was vision it's all about, as he was thinking, 3 soldiers were standing here and calling him, Peter, Peter. And he's coming and said, what do you need? And they say, we are the servants of Cornelius, who is the centurion in Caesarea. So please come, because he saw the angel day before, and the angel said to him to send to bring you to Caesarea.
How far from Caesarea?
78 kilometers.
70 kilometers, yeah.
My question is, why the angel who appeared to centurion didn't tell the gospel? Why Peter is supposed to go from here to Caesarea, 78 kilometers, in order to tell the gospel? Why?
Because at that point, Peter was only taking the gospel to the Jews, I think. He was not necessarily taking it to the Gentiles.
It's nothing to do with Jew and the Gentiles.
But angels cannot witness of the
That's
Bible.
right.
Mm-hmm.
The message of gospel was given exclusively to people.
Yeah.
not to God and not to the angels. Otherwise, Jesus could come down from the cross. He was tempted. If you will come down from the cross, we will follow you, we will believe you. Right? But Jesus fulfilled his mission, and his mission was to die on the cross. And our mission is to carry on the good news, which is the gospel. Gospel is good news. And what's the good news all about? Jesus is risen, and he is alive.
Amen.
Right? So this house is the turning point, because until this point, all the people who followed Jesus Christ were exclusively Jews or proselytes. Proselytes is the Gentiles who turned to be Jewish. Okay? From this point, the gospel came to Centurion, and he never turned to be a Jewish. He remained Romans. You know, today people are asking, how can Jew believe in Jesus? Back then was the question, how can Gentile follow Jesus? Is a Jewish Messiah, right? So this is the turning point in faith in Yeshua HaMashiach.
Amen.
Amen.